There have been assaulted and multifarious opinions among we Ghanaians, the football fanatics. I just want some assurance from you that Otto Addo is the best man for Black Stars as a head coach.
I mean, this question, I don't like to speak about myself, like I'm the best or whatsoever. It's not my nature, you know? People can judge me, and surely most of the people will judge me by the results, which were not good. But I have friends, I have mentors, I don't know if you know, but I trained under Matthias Sammer. I was trained under Klopp. I was trained, I was assistant to Edin Terzic, who was the Dortmund head coach, and surely we exchange. And for me, this is relevant. You know, if they say this or that, and they're also critical with some things, and I understand this, but this has much more value if I speak to Jurgen Klopp and he stays with this or that, or if I send him maybe some scenes, then somebody from anywhere saying, oh, blah, 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 this is bad. You know, so I try to get better every day, but I can assure you that I also question some games, but to be honest, like I said, especially the home games, we played well, but we didn't score, and this was a missing point. And it's very, very difficult at national level because you don't just have 3 days. Now we had 2 days of training, and then to play again, and to get things together, get things done. And sometimes in football you can do everything right. If you don't score, you lose. It's like that. And sometimes you play bad, you win. Sometimes you play good, you lose. It's like that, and I have to accept it. At the end, like I said, the results should have been better, much better. Also, let's say the away game in Niger was also crucial, and I don't make it to the. I don't think the last game was that. I mean, surely at the end was crucial. Also, we could have, if we would have won, we could have had a chance today, but I think we lost it, especially in the home games, where this is the base of everything to win these games.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, Coach. My name is Kwesi Ofer from Pola. So I want to know, will you now give more opportunities to the local-based players after his impressive performance against Angola? That's my question.
So for me, again, it's not about local players or non-local players, it's about performance. You're right, he did well. I saw him at Nations. You know, I've been going around in Ghana, you know, to watch matches, and he's one of the players which caught my eye, and I think he justified it in the last game, and I hope he will continue.
Good afternoon, Coach. My name is Ebenezer Sadari, a sports journalist from Joy Sports. Speaking of moving on, you said something about the players. Let me rephrase the question. That we played very well, but we couldn't get the goals. So
in the home games, okay, please. In the home games.
Yeah, the home games. We played very well and couldn't get the goals. Henceforth, are we going to see more of not necessarily focusing on playing the best of football, but getting the win?
Yeah, it's you know, it's part of my philosophy to play good football, and I think it's how I see the Ghanaian footballers. I want them to have joy. I want them to be in a construct where they feel well, where they feel home. And I think this, if you watch the home games, you saw it. It's just the end product, and sometimes it's just little margins. You know, it's like the ball is going to the post. If I think about Jiko's header, inside or outside. Sometimes it's even away when we played against Sudan, we scored a regular goal and it was not given. So these are little things which are missing, but which are very decisive, and which can turn the whole story, or could have turned the whole story around. But at the end, this is football. This is football, and this is what happens. And we have to learn out of this. We have to do better. Especially then also when we don't score, we have to work on our defense as well, not to concede. That the zero at least will stand. And yeah, so there's much space for improvement.
Okay, so my next question. Speaking of defense, this current Black Stars team has, for me, my observation the past 2 years is we've had a very good. We are mostly defensive minded, but in the course of being defensive minded and trying to sit back, we end up conceding. But from what I know, it's the best form of attack. The first form of defense is attack. So why defending instead of attacking? Because let's take the previous game for instance. There were times, for example, Jordan had the ball, tried to maneuver around the opponent and maybe tried to give a cross. But anytime he kind of looked up, there wasn't any white-shirted players, Ghanaian players in the 18-yard box. So can I say, that's why I asked the first question, henceforth, are we going to see more of attacking football instead of us sitting back trying to prevent our opponents from getting at us?
Yeah, but okay, did you see the home game we had against Sudan?
Yes, I did.
Was it attacking football or defensive football?
From what I saw, it was more of a balance. But at the end of the day,
we had 16 corners, they had 1. We had, I don't know how many shots on goals, we had a lot of chances. And so are really talking about now, this was not attacking football. I don't want to offend you, really, but, we have to really, if you say, when we played the Mali, okay, it was more defensive, but we were leading 1-0, and it's a different approach. Sometimes it comes also with the results, but also Angola, when we played them at home, we created a lot of chances. So, and the ball possession was like 60-40 or something. So, for me, it was more offensive. But maybe I don't know how you see it. So I'm really surprised.
Okay, so with my third and final question, it has to do with officiating, the performance of the referee.
Excuse me?
It has to do with officiating of the game, the performance of the referee. Yeah, the referee.
Which referee?
In our previous game against Niger. Sorry, the one we just played recently against Angola, yeah.
You want his comments on
Yeah, the performance on the referee. Because
the last game?
Yeah, the last game. Because I saw certain chances where our players were brought down, 50-50 chances where it should have been our advantage or even a foul in our favor. And it was...
Yeah, it's difficult. If the referee was okay, I've seen worse referees, to be honest, and I know. Let's say for example, the penalty, for example, he lifted up his leg before he didn't even touch it. So if there would be VAR, I don't think it would be penalty. But at the end, also Nuruddin, he had a great save, also had a great day, and for me now to talk about the referee. Difficult.
Yeah. So, Coach, looking ahead to tomorrow's game, what's going to be the approach? Because we know it's particularly of no consequence to us. We are not qualifying. What's the approach towards the game? Is it from now we are going to rebuild the team? Because I've seen you invite a lot of younger players. So what's the approach towards the game? And also, one more question. Sometimes I see your body language towards some of the questions we ask at press conferences. Do you think as a country we major on the minuses, the things that don't matter? Because I see at press conference, people ask you questions and you sort of look at them with certain eye as if you feel those are not the questions that are supposed to be asked, or you think you don't place too much focus on what you think is important.
Yes, sometimes. If I get a question, why are you sweating so much, then sorry, but for me, it's not relevant. It's we are fighting or we were fighting to survive, to do something to win, and then if I get this question, for me, it's out of space, to be honest. And the first question was what again? Yeah, this is also difficult. Why should I would love to tell you this, but okay, so first of all, we have a lot of injured players. It's not only us, it's also other national teams. It's also a lot of clubs, like my former club, Dortmund, they have like 10 players injured. So it's quite difficult because they have a lot of games, the players, my prayers are really, really with those who are injured, especially Fatau is going to be, I think, a very serious injury. Hope not, but could be, and my prayers are with him. In this situation, I always like to thank everybody who's coming committed to play and give his best for this country. And when somebody gets injured, it makes me very, very sad. And surely now it's an opportunity for new players to come to show themselves. And I can't tell you more about the approach because surely I don't want to prepare our opponent on how we should want to play. Yeah. Yeah, the mindset, but the mindset is always the same. Always the same. I mean, I don't think there's somebody, even when let's say we will play a friendly match, I want to win, There's no way I will just go and play and I want to lose, But the mindset is always about winning. It's always about do the best, and I think if we want to give positive examples, we have to maybe mention Razak Simpson or Manaf, as just two. But I don't like to point out, but this is what we want to see. To play out all their hearts, everybody was fighting. We had players like Gideon Mensah, like Addo said, they had problems before. They couldn't train the whole week, but they came to play. This is what we want to see, to die for the country. Now, surely the problems are worse. After the game, they can't play, but I want people to know that it's not always like oh, this guy don't want to play, or this. They had problems before, big problems. But our medical team, they worked day and night. We would have liked you to see how they worked on them, and congrats to, and also thanks to them, for making it happen for the players to play. And they all have a schedule. It's not always easy for them, and they're trying their best.
All right. Before the Angola's game, you were being described as a disciplinarian and a tactical strategist by one of our local coaches, Frimpong Manson. And looking at some of the reasons why some players withdrawn from our final squad to face Angola, some weren't all that pleasant to me. The likes of, I just don't want to mention names. Yeah, like the 8 players that were being ruled out of Angola's game due to injuries. Yeah, some weren't all that pleasant to me. Being a disciplinarian, is it that you are going to build a new Black Stars team that is being anchored on youthfulness or local players, just in case maybe you need a team to play a crucial match and these players are not around?
Okay, so I didn't quite get your question. So you said I said someone.
Now, from the reasons they gave out,
okay. Yeah, okay. No,
Sorry, Coach. Maybe before he explains, there was a publication by the FA that listed the various reasons why the players couldn't make it.
Exactly.
With the exception of Joseph Pinto, whose reason was personal, all the other players had injury worries attached to their names. And you were saying that the reasons we gave was not pleasing to you?
Some of the reasons.
And what could you please be specific?
The first one you've stated is that is Joseph Pencil, and the second one is about
about. Normally I won't do it, but his I'm just look. I don't like to do it, and I hope Joseph will forgive me for this. Okay, his wife was pregnant, was over the date. Now he is a father, a baby girl. This was the reason. Okay, so I don't want you to make stories. I don't have a problem with him. He doesn't have a problem with me. Please. Okay. But it's not like I would give out to the public. His wife is pregnant, and maybe it's a complicated birth or what. I don't like this. Especially if something happens, that I was the one who gave out some certain informations. Do you understand this? Please. Okay.
And then you said the second player is who?
Semenyo, because he played in his last game, and the reason was like he needed to get a medical attention for that.
Okay, we are not allowed. It's a law. I'm not allowed to give you specific informations about. But we got a doctoral report. Our doctor's not allowed to talk about it. I'm not allowed to talk about it. But if somebody's injured, he's injured. There's nothing I can do, you know?
All right. And my last question was, is it that Otto Addo, having a potential World Cup qualification, you are going to build a new Black Stars team that is anchored on local players and youthful players?
Like I said before, for me, the players are one. So I will call, performance-wise, the best, in my view, who are ready to play these games. That's all. If they're local players or non-local, for me, it doesn't matter.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much, colleagues. The first 15 minutes of the training is open, so you can position yourself in the media area and take the first 15 minutes, and once that is done, please excuse the team for them to proceed with their official training. Thank you so much.
Thank you.